my channel. If you are new, what I do on this channel is I discuss every and anything except for three things, which is, well, I'll put it on the screen because I can never remember if I say LGBTQ the rest properly. So religion, politics, and the LGBTQ community. I will put the correct thing. Please nobody confirm my neck. And my other videos, I did them a bit, if you haven't seen them, they were a bit serious. They were basically tips on choices, chances, bridges, and stuff like that. So it was really serious. So what I wanted to do for this video is to be more like, not funny because I'm not funny, but like calmer, or something that's just a bit entertaining instead of something that's serious. And then the very next video is going to be back onto my normal trend of being very serious. So without further ado, you guys can see the back, and it says 21 things I learned before 21, which is also one of the videos that was requested. Well, when I sent out a question and nobody asked me, let's deal. 21 things I learned before 21. Some of the things are actually informative, and some of the things you'd be surprised that a lot of people still don't know them, and a lot of people didn't find out until after 21. So the very first thing is I learned how to cook. I learned how to cook when I was probably like 12, 13. We didn't have a choice. My mother was not in the country, so I learned to cook with that. So we had to learn to cook. So my sister's 4 years older than me, and she kind of taught me how to do simple things, but now I'm a better cook than she is. Yay! And number 2 is I learned how to clean, and when I say clean, I don't mean like taking a broom and sweeping your room, which is probably what most of you can do, but it's actually being able to really clean a house, like, you know, the Sunday cleaning that your mom does. I can actually do that. I try my best not to because it's a lot of work, but I can actually do that. So hey, I'm a great housewife. I'm not. And number 3, as we are on cleaning, a tip, but actually something I learned as well, for cleaning, probably a lot of Caribbean people know that, is that you can use newspaper to clean a window or a mirror, and it comes out way better than if you use a cloth, like a washcloth, or if you use a paper towel. So using the newspaper is actually, well, old newspaper is actually better than using paper towel or cloth. Tip, well, not tip, thing number 4, and excuse me for looking down. If you can see me looking down, as usual I have my book that I always have, so I wrote down what the things are because I could not remember every single thing. So number 4 is how to comb my own hair. The funny thing is I only know how to comb 4 hairstyles. This is one, and put my hair up in a bun, put my hair down in a bun, drop my hair. I don't know if that's considered a hairstyle, and I can comb two buns. So there you go, I can comb. Alright, and then number 5, I believe, I learned table etiquette. I learned table etiquette, and when I say table etiquette, that is when you're at a restaurant or at a, well, any eating place that is public, and you're supposed to know which spoon, which fork, which knife to use. I learned that. I learned that when I was, I think, it was probably 16 when I went to my very first dinner. I, by the way, hate dinners, so fun fact about me, I absolutely hate restaurants and going to dinners. I don't know why people do that. Tip number, I don't know what number it is because I did not write the numbers down. I decided to just write a dash, is how to remove lint without a lint remover. I learned that in Form 2. I think it was Form 2 or 3, and anybody who went to Hesse will probably remember Miss Ferguson, so if you ever get to see this video, I mentioned your name. She taught us that if you want to remove lint from your overalls, because we use the overalls, you could just use a dull-ish razor, preferably 2 blades, and you can actually take it out instead of using a lint remover, well, if one isn't available. But you still need to be careful even if it's dull, because it can still put a hole in your clothes, and you know, if you need the clothes, that's probably going to look bad, so you can just be like really careful with that. Then the next tip is, I learned in biology class, and I will never forget, rest his soul, Mr. Gabriel, who passed away quite recently. We are born with 270 bones, and it decreases to 206 by adulthood. Now I remember that because I remember thinking that we were like reptiles, and I found it was really weird, so I remember that. And of course you can't ever forget anything said in Mr. Gabriel's class, because this man made you remember, I swear, including jumping on the table. Anybody who went to Hess will remember jumping on the table to try to teach us. So yes, I remember that by Mr. Gabriel. So we were born of 270 bones, and we now have 206 bones. As you're an adult, you will have 206 bones. I learned how to, or you can say also discovered a talent that I can long jump, and I can do it really well. I got gold, yay! Yeah, I can long jump. I tried javelin as we're there. It didn't really work out, so you know what? I'm just going to tell people I can long jump and not mention the rest. Alright, so the next is how to spay and neuter animals. I can't do it, but I learned how it's done I volunteered at a shelter, and the vets, they was spaying or spraying, whichever you pronounce that, and neutering animals, dogs and cats, and I was able to go into the room and we could see how it was being done. The poor things were so fast asleep, they looked like they were dead, and they did that, and then I was able to see that, and it was actually, to me, pretty painful because I don't like to see animals, and I know they were asleep, but it just looked like if they were to be awake, it would be so painful, and when they woke up, so I absolutely hated that. I love the volunteering experience, but I absolutely hated seeing how these animals are spayed and neutered. It is really creepy. Moving on to the next tip, this is something I learned, which is probably you could get a little less happy, I guess. It's not anything bad, it's just something that you kind of learn, and some people learn it before, and some before 21, and some, sadly, and some people learn it after. But I learned that way before, that family isn't family just because they're blood. Now, I'm not going to go deep into that, but everybody could basically figure it out. Not because somebody is your blood means that that person is going to treat you like family should treat you. Unfortunately, that's not always the case, and sometimes you kind of have to learn that the hard way. Like you have to, there's the saying, if you don't hear, you will feel. So, kind of had to feel or experience that to realize that family isn't always family. And there are people who actually have no blood or don't share any blood with you, but are actually much better or would treat you more like an actual family member would. So on that somber weird note, next tip is I learned in agriculture class how to plant, and I can plant 3 things, which are corn, peppers, and tomatoes. I probably haven't planted from the time I left school, but shout out to Mr. Dyer who taught us how to plant these 3 things. There were other things, but I took no interest in them. These were pretty easy, so I just did those and got my grade. And I was out. So I learned how to plant these 3 things. Also, I learned how to plant corn from my dad, to be honest. We did that when we were way younger, so I already knew how to do that. Then, a fun fact, which I actually realized quite recently because there was a meme going around or something where people were saying they were today years old and they found out what news stands for. But I found that out like a very long time ago in literature class. News stands for notable events, weather, and sports. Yes, I looked down because I can't remember it off the top of my head. So it's notable events, weather, and sports. That is what news stands for. Now you learned something in case you didn't know that. I hope you knew that. Next tip is how to prepare an application and a resume. Now I say that I learned that because yes, it's pretty straightforward, but at the same time, some people have a really hard time with preparing it really well, and sometimes that's how people end up not hiring you because your application, the way it's written, the resume, it's just really like clustered, and there's a lot of information that's not needed. So I'll probably make a video on how to do that, but there's so many sites that do that teach you how to prepare a resume that it's probably not needed. But if you do want me to do so, then let me know, and I have no problem with doing so, to how to prepare an application or resume. I've always got a job I've applied for, so I think I'm a great person to show how to do so. Maybe not, I don't know. And the next is another dark-ish. It's really not dark, it's honestly, if you think about life, it's what it is. Everybody lies. I'll give you a second for that to sink in. Just listen to the crickets. No, I'm not gonna put crickets in the background, I don't know how, but imagine. Everybody lies. Every single person lies. I mean, unless somebody takes an oath and they're a monk or something of the sort, but in your day-to-day transactions, your day-to-day movements in life, the people that you meet, I am going to assure you that everybody lies. It might be a small lie, it might be a big lie, it might be something simple, it might be evading the truth, it might be trying to protect someone's feelings, which we do all the time, but everybody lies. Then the next tip is that seahorses, I really hope it's seahorses and that's the term. seahorses, the little horses that are underwater, they're not really horses, they're like the type of fish. The males carry and birth the babies. So the mommy gets pregnant, she spits all of the little eggs into the daddy. I think that's literally what's done. And then daddy carries the baby and then gives birth to the babies. Pretty disgusting, but pretty fun. Like I wish human beings could do that. Just after they've impregnated you, about 3-4 months, just put it into them and then let the guys carry the baby, since they think it's so easy to be done. I have no children, so I don't even think I'm supposed to be saying this, but women with children, I'm here for you. Then the next tip, well, not tip, I don't keep saying tips. The next point or thing that I learned is the main rose colors and their meanings. Now, I know that there are a lot more rose colors because there's orange, there's blue, there's green, it's basically every color. But the main ones, the ones that we see more often, obviously I have black first because I love black. Black roses usually mean loss, but at the same time in ancient, I think Roman times, I may be wrong, I'll put the correct thing, it also means new birth or new beginnings. That's what black roses stand for. Red roses stands for romance, everybody knows that. Pink roses stand for appreciation, so if you appreciate someone or somebody did really good in something, you can give them a pink rose. Yellow roses usually means friendship, and white roses mean purity, which is why you have white roses at weddings and stuff like that. Maybe weddings, I don't think Christians have, but at weddings you usually see white roses if there are roses. The next step, I almost said last, it's not last. The next point, the next thing that I learned is that I am allergic to citric acid. And yes, I said I learned that because I had no clue, and I went ahead and I think I ate something. Was it an orange or a grapefruit or something? And then I had an allergic reaction and I thought it was maybe spoiled. And then I did it again because I guess I like the feeling. So I did it again and had an allergic reaction again, and then I was rushed to the hospital this time and I learned that I'm allergic to citric acid, so I can't have it. And that is literally natural vitamin C. My life is hard. Then the next thing that I learned is the depth of the sea is still undetermined. I am terrified of the sea. Something else that you learn about me. I'm absolutely terrified of the sea, and the reason is because I almost drowned at a very young age. And I remember that I was arguing when somebody asked me to go back to the beach or something, and I was arguing the reason that I don't like it is because you literally don't know how deep the sea is, and that is scientifically proven. If you drown, it's like you're just going and going and going. That you can probably not even be found ever. That's sad and that is scary, and I don't know how people go onto the sea at all. It's strange, it's weird. Kudos to those who do, because that's like a bunch of bravery that I will never ever have. So yeah. Alright, and then the next, we're almost done. It's only 21 things, so we're almost done. I started working when I was 16 or 15. Actually, I started working like before, but the legal age is 16. And I learned that you actually never really get your full salary because there's always a tax deduction. So, NIC for St. Lucians, you get NIC, you get inland revenue, and inland revenue is property and income, but you get those 3 things usually if you have property. It's 3, if you don't, then it's 2. Those things are always deducted once you get paid. Some places do it automatically, and some people do it like they tell you to do it, so if you must, because then you're probably going to pay for it in the end. So you always end up taking out, or it's usually taken off of your salary before you actually get paid, tax deductions. So that's actually something that people should realize, that when someone offers you a pay when you apply for a job and you get the interview, always ask them the figure that they give you. Always ask, or it's nice to ask, is that before or after taxes, just so that you know, because at a certain amount is taken out. So you kind of need to know that to know how much money you're really working with. And sometimes according to how much you make, the higher you make, the more taxes that are taken. So you actually could probably really try to know before you take the job. I mean, don't not take the job, but just so that you know exactly how much you're working with. And this is the one before the last thing. Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola that we drink, like Coke, we call it Coke, that we drink, can clean rust. Let me repeat that. Coke can clean rust and jewelry, and people drink that. That is scary Do you see jewelry is literally made of silver or gold or whatever, and it can clean jewelry in like overnight, and it could also clean rust off a vehicle, rust off of something. It can clean rust. Do you know what that can do to the inside of you? A lot. That could totally destroy the inside of you. Just saying. So maybe you should stop drinking Coke. That's a good idea. And the last and final, I'm looking behind because there's a guy behind me. I'll probably put his like YouTube thingy in, because I'm using this camera, so like thank you, Kendall. So I'll probably put his YouTube thingy in the description if I decide to be nice and using his camera. And his board. This is his board. This is his board. He let me use his classroom. And yes, we follow the precautions to have your mask. My mask is actually there. We're not thinking any rules. We're actually following through what we're supposed to do due to the COVID-19 situation. So no children, I did not come and destroy your desk. So the very, very, very last, not tip, I'm saying tip, but I don't know why I'm saying tip. Alright, the very last thing, we're going to end on a bit of a serious note because I made myself look like a fool for about 17 minutes. Yay! So, the last thing is how to not care about what people think about you. Yes, I learned that before I was 21 because I think I was one of those children who I always knew who I was, but I always wanted to do something like other things. So I was maybe always thinking of, maybe this person will think that and that person will think that. A little, not too much, just like a little. But I did learn at a very young age, before 21, that you should not care, because at the end, when you get to a certain age, you're going to be preaching it to everybody else, as well as it will take a whole lot more stress off of you if you just don't care what people think of you and you do whatever. Once you're not harming yourself or the people around you, you should never be afraid to be exactly who you are. The right people will always follow and the right people will always come into your life. So, on that note, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching me rant for 17 minutes and give you information you'll probably never use in your life. But thank you for watching. And my socials are up, so you can follow me. As I said, I think it's Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. I think that's what I have up. Also, if you want to discuss anything else, which I've always said, you can always let me know in the comments, or you can message me or something if you actually know me. If you don't try to message me. You can actually message me and let me know what you want me to discuss. And yes, that's it, and thank you so much for watching.